Hi, this is Jill Varvel with Dixiecast. I'm over here at the Siloam Springs Farmers Market, which is one of many farmers markets here in Northwest Arkansas. It's one of my favorites because it's considerably smaller, but it's much more personal, and there are a great variety of vendors here that I like to frequent. Also gives me the opportunity to chat with the vendors. So a little bit later, we're going to be chatting with Deborah Rowden-Horvath, who is a volunteer with the market. So let's take a look around. I don't know what it is about a farmer's market, but just like Christmas craft fairs, I find them irresistible. There's something about patronizing those who work with their hands that causes me to feel like I've spent my money well. The idea of waking up on a Saturday morning, taking my bag to the local downtown market, is something that brings me joy. I personally experience great satisfaction in shopping local farmers and artisans who, through the efforts of their personal toil, have produced a product that provides utility and meaning to others. Let's face it, you can't compare the experience of a farmer's market to a grocery store or even a mall. For starters, most grocery stores are staffed by hourly employees who aren't exactly hoping you will stop and chit-chat with them about how, for example, the zucchini you're eyeballing was grown. Farmers markets are a positive extension of any given community, and as a realtor, I find that homebuyers are routinely interested to learn that the community they're considering purchasing a home has a farmer's market. It's definitely a selling point. When I lived in Washington State, I served as a board member for a small town farmers market. I developed such a sense of appreciation for the farmers and artisans who dedicated so much of their lives toward making the market meaningful to others. I experienced a rush of familiarity when I visited the Siloam Springs Farmers Market, as my first impression was one of cohesion. The vendors know each other, and they work to support one another. Siloam Springs alone is worth a visit. It's a pretty little town with a pretty college, John Brown University, and a friendly vibe. Siloam Springs is located in Benton County, here in Northwest Arkansas, but there are a plethora of farmers markets in the area. Siloam Springs Farmers Market is located in Memorial Park at South Mount Olive and West Jefferson Streets. Unlike many downtown farmers markets I visited in larger cities, you're not reliant upon snagging a parking place wherever you can. There's ample parking across the street from Siloam Springs Library. Memorial Park also features a splash park for the kids to play and cool off while you fill your bags with healthy and local provisions. If you're lucky enough to have a farmer's market within 30 minutes of where you live, I recommend paying a visit. It's fun. And around here, they're open early enough to allow you to get on with your weekend and even have some healthy food options around for the week. As our society becomes more advanced technologically, that doesn't necessarily equate to improvement. Sometimes returning to simpler times and venues and buying directly from your local farmers and artisans can bring unanticipated joy. It certainly does for me. So Deborah, it was great to see you at the market on Saturday.
It was great to see you as well.
Yeah. How did it go?
It was a good day.
Okay.
It wasn't too hot. There was a nice breeze. A lot of customers. It was great.
Nice. So just a fun story. I love to tell the story about how we met. Before I even moved to Arkansas, I met you on Instagram, and we were communicating back and forth for months, and then you had posted something about a weather incident in the part of the area of the country that you live, and I remember thinking to myself, I was aware that there was some wind issues in Arkansas, and so I messaged you, and I kind of felt kind of creepy, like, hey, I know we haven't officially met, but can you tell me where you live? And you mentioned Northwest Arkansas, and I was just like, oh my goodness, we're about to move there. And so in a sense, you're like my very first friend that I had here even before I moved.
And the fact that we met on Instagram, that was amazing to me. It was like, who gets to actually meet the people that you meet on Instagram?
I know.
So it was a thrill.
I know. I was so excited. So Tell me about your role at the Siloam Springs Farmers Market.
Okay. Well, I've been involved with the market since the beginning, before it was ever incorporated or made part of Main Street. Back probably 18 years ago, there was a woman named Gloria McEnroe, and her and my friend Becky Flory, we got together with her, and we tried to get a little market going, and we did pretty good. And then a lady named Ellie took over, who was fabulous. And we still weren't anything official, or and I worked with her in it. And then it became an official farmers market, and then part of Main Street, with Main Street backing, Main Street USA, because we are a Main Street USA town.
Okay.
So, long time, about 18 years.
Wow. And so, what is your role? Like, what are some of the things that you do at the market?
Well, I'm officially a volunteer.
Uh-huh.
But I come every Saturday. It's part of the community I love. I love supporting the vendors. So I guess I've become like the mama of the group. Once a month I bring them breakfast. I make breakfast for all the vendors and the farmers. I take them. I help the market manager with setup and takedown. I do the light stuff. He does the heavy stuff. But Stacy Morris was the manager when I came on to the official market, and then it was Abby Trinidad, and now it's Scott Jones. And they've all been great market managers. But my role mostly is just helping, being a support.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And how many vendors are there presently?
Oh gosh. I would say maybe there's around 13 right now. And we've got more coming in July.
Okay.
Some show up later in the year. In the beginning of the year, there's not too much for the farmers and stuff in April. But now tomatoes are starting to come on. Potatoes, cucumbers, peppers, all those fun things for zucchini for summer.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got about 13 vendors, and like I said, there'll be more in July.
Okay.
Yeah, and a lot of them are crafty. There's some craft vendors too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so not all food.
Not all food.
Right.
Bakers, though. We do have bakers as well.
And there's an online component to the market as well, isn't there?
Yes. When COVID hit,
mm-hmm.
we couldn't have the market outside, and so we had an online ordering. And what they would do is they would come to our office, which is the Moss House, and they would, during the week, place their order, and then they could come and drive up. We would see them, we would pack their bags, and we would bring their bags to them. Well, it was so successful for so many that we just kept it.
Yeah.
So you can still order online even during the summer while we're open.
And that ensures that people can get the items that they want, lest it sell out prematurely and that kind of thing.
Exactly. And for the bakers, it's very helpful because it gives them a count. They can kind of go, okay. So it's really good.
I'll bet that helps them with costs because, who wants like day old whatever after a market that, just
right.
that kind of thing.
Right.
So let's see. And where, for those who might be watching this for the first time and might not know where the farmers market is, and when does it meet, like the months and what time and the location?
We open in April.
Okay.
And we usually close in October, about the second week in October. I didn't get the dates for this year's because they change every year, of course. But October is our last month. Okay. And it's usually a fun month. We'll gather all the vendors and farmers and bakers together, take pictures and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's open from 8 o'clock until noon. We used to be open later, but it's hard on the vendors, that heat in the summer.
Yeah.
So we just tell people now, if you want to shop the market, come in the morning, come early.
Yeah.
Well, it's cool.
Yeah, no kidding. And then there are certain days that the market features. I think I saw like a kids' day. Tell us about that.
Yes, every second Saturday of the month is Kids' Day. Jessica Farley heads that up. She's wonderful. She has a little girl herself. And what it is it's called Pop Club, and it's the power of produce. And it teaches the children where their food comes from, that it doesn't come from Walmart or the grocery store, where it grows, how it grows, they get to taste it. That's a hoot sometimes with the kids tasting radishes or, but sometimes we've had a blender bike where they've thrown everything in a blender and the kids pedal the bike and it makes salsa. So she always chooses an activity for them and a taste test of what we have for the season right then.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, it's pretty successful.
Are there other days aside from a kids' day that the market has? I don't know if there's like something like a seniors' day or something.
Well, we have the second, third. Is it the fourth Saturday? I'm terribly misinformed right now.
I know. What month is it?
I know, it's like weird, but it's the fourth. I believe it's the fourth Saturday of the month. Then we have what's called Taste of the Seasons, samples of the seasons. And we get a local cook or chef to come and fix a dish for customers to sample of stuff from the market. The dish is made with ingredients from the market. It's really pretty cool.
Very cool. Yeah, I like the market because it is kind of it's not overwhelming. Like in the past, you know, you go to some farmers market and that's wonderful too in its own respect. But you know, I have found you know, just the ability to talk to the vendors and get to know them a little bit, and it just feels small town. Like you see your friends at the market. In any of the vendors that you have, I mean, I'm sure they're all wonderful, but anything kind of unique about a vendor, maybe a new vendor that you might want to mention just for the sake of the...
Well, one of the vendors that is new to us this year is Emily, and she does the baskets. Okay. And she hand makes every one of those baskets, and they're beautiful. She does really quality work. We have a new vendor, Chris Anderson, who does pottery. And her stuff is very reasonable, very cute. I love what you said about the small. I've been to the LA Farmers Market. I've been to big farmers market, and they are wonderful, but they're not personable. Right. And the community that is built in our small little Siloam Farmers Market is where you come and you see friends, you stand and chat with friends that you maybe haven't seen all winter. So it's a place of community. It's like a family.
Yeah. That was the first thing I sort of observed. I saw a lot of just camaraderie, even among the vendors. And
yes,
I like that.
A lot of respect, mutual respect. We help one another. They help one another. It's really, really, really a great market.
Yeah, I agree. So is there anything else that you might want to mention that I might not have asked, or just any closing thoughts?
Yes, two things. We have a senior program, which the seniors, they go to the Agency of Aging for Arkansas, and they can get a coupon booklet, and they can come to our market, any farmer's market, but the ones that come to our market, they can buy anything edible, fresh produce. Same thing with our Double Your Dollars. That's for low-income families. And that, they bring their card and they would say, for instance, I want to take $20 out of here. We match it. So we give them $20 in Double Your Dollars to spend at the market. What I love about these two programs is instead of giving people money to just go to the grocery store, they're getting to go buy local meats and vegetables fresh and get to know their farmers. So it's really it's a symbiotic relationship that works so beautifully.
That is so great. Oh, I'm so glad you mentioned that. Well, thank you so much, Deborah.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
your time. I learned a lot, and I will see you at the market.
I will see you at the market, Jill.